Yeah. Wala.
Niake,
Janet.
Janet.
Alito.
Auntie Hunterish.
Sio.
Gwena.
Kikadus.
Kurumante.
Madawika.
Yate.
Hinapi. Mike.
Mike. Good morning, good morning.
Yate. Good morning, good morning. Coming live from 1950 South Shepherd. Got a little late today. As you can see in the title for today, it is Tatum's 3-year sobriety day.
Oh my gosh, I just saw that you put that.
Yeah, yeah. So like, how did you do it?
My name's Tatum. I'm an alcoholic.
Hey, Tatum.
Man, 3 years feels crazy. It feels like another day, really. It feels
Yeah.
like I woke up and I came to work. I think the most special thing about it was that Josie said, "Happy birthday, Mom."
Oh,
So she recognizes, and she likes to say like happy third birthday, like that's silly to her.
yeah.
But sobriety birthdays are very important.
Hmm.
I never forget where I started and where I could go back to real easily.
Definitely.
So just like to stay humble and be grateful today.
For sure. For sure. And that's one of the things that, I mean, it is a big deal, but it's like you found that balance where, you're not having them super high highs and them real low lows. Like you've just being around you and seeing your growth and seeing how you're pretty laid back.
Mhm.
So I hopefully we go get a good lunch today. You know, I don't know what else we're doing for you today, but hopefully it all falls in place.
Yeah.
Whatever it is that maybe you get some fries or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I'll take some fries.
Yes. Yes, Mr.
Hi.
Kamasiva. Yes.
Is everything in there?
Yeah, the cups. Are the cups in there? Sorry, we have our.
We have visitors.
Yeah. All right.
Me
Aho.
too.
Mm-hmm. One of our raffle winners for the All Nations Recovery Waffle. So, Mr. Kamasiva came and picked up his prize.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so I think about what I did for myself because like I don't want to like always expect somebody to do something for me.
Yeah.
Like it was something about I want to say last year, around that time, where did we go? It was kind of like my second year I got to go to Alaska.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Spoiled. Nah.
I know, right? My 2 year I got to go to Alaska, and I went to a meeting up there and got my chip.
Wow.
Yeah, then I
That's
came
awesome.
home and got my chip at the 506.
I remember
And
that actually.
yeah, yeah. So, but I don't it's just another day, But I don't know, like you want to count I still count my days.
Mm-hmm.
Like every once in a while I'll just glance like, damn, I got that many days.
Right.
And I'm already like thinking like I wonder what, like when 2000 days comes around.
Mm-hmm.
Like to me just being able to say that it's even a possibility.
Yeah.
Like that it's crazy to me. Because I remember struggling with one day. So,
Mm-hmm.
can you see the comments?
Yeah, I can. Janice Logan says, "Congratulations, Tatum. You are an inspiration. Thank you. Thank
Thank you, Jay.
you."
Nice.
She says, "Good morning, Barry."
Good morning. Good morning.
Rossi Harjo says,
Yaki
Ithati Nakusech.
Nakusech.
Buenos dias, mi gente.
Mi gente.
That's how you say it. Drew says, "Good
Good
morning.
morning, little brother.
Congrats, Tatum." And Leslie Shortteeth says, "Good
Mm,
morning, big brother."
good morning, little sis.
Yeah, I celebrated my 1 year with a pizza party at my grandma's house, and then everyone went up to the 506 so I could get my chip.
Mm.
And 2 years, man. Well, that was a year ago, so I believe I just went to the clubhouse and also got my chip.
Oh yeah.
And my thoughts this morning, and I hope this doesn't like come off negative or anything, but I just went through a lot of things on my own this year, relying only on God, to get me through.
Oh yeah.
And a lot of change in my life too, where it was just me and God through all that. And so I told my family that I would prefer to just do this one on my own this year,
Yeah.
get my chip. I don't know, maybe cook myself some dinner. Like nothing too special,
Yeah. Keep it simple.
It's all within me now, and I don't feel the need for all of that, the outside stuff. Just feel very at peace today.
That's cool. I mean, I don't know. Like when I think about my birthday, like my belly button birthday,
Mm-hmm.
it was a week before Christmas.
Mm.
So my mom would always ask me, "Do you want Christmas or do you want a birthday?"
Yeah.
And I always chose Christmas.
Really?
Always. Like always. I don't know. Like I didn't ever want to like put my mom in that predicament because I had a little brother and a little sister.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And I always knew that they looked forward to Christmas more than I did. And we were poor, so I felt like that was kind of like my duty to like not to be selfish.
Okay.
So like birthdays, like I don't know, they just really didn't. Kind of like you said, I used to like to cook my kids something to eat
Mm-hmm.
and call it good.
Yeah.
Like that was good enough for me. So I don't like to go. I don't know. But I mean, now we're
Yeah.
recovering out loud, and I think we should celebrate every day like it's your birthday.
Exactly.
You
And
know?
like also, I have this whole thing like don't wait for people to celebrate you. Like
Yeah.
I woke up this morning celebrating myself. As
Uh
soon
huh.
as I opened my eyes, as soon as I took that first, deep breath of air in, like I'm celebrating myself
Oh yeah.
on my belly button birthdays. I also don't wait for someone to, you know what I mean, to try
Yeah.
and celebrate me. Like you can celebrate yourself. You can be proud of yourself. You can I guess that all came with like this whole self-love journey,
Oh yeah.
learning to love myself
Knowing
again.
how to reward yourself.
Yeah, like I just don't. I mean, if someone wants to celebrate me, I won't tell you no. But I my cash app's in the comment. No, just kidding. Not really. But yeah, I don't know. I feel good with whatever comes,
Yeah.
That's God's will.
Definitely. Definitely.
So,
Uh, Desiree,
What's
she
that?
don't. I can't help it.
No.
Your name is Rezi.
No.
Rezi
The
Desi.
more you say it, the more I.
Okay, well I gotta say it the whole way. Rezi Desi.
Okay, yeah. Because when
Okay.
you say Rezi,
I know.
just had to
Rezi
get that
Desi.
out or what?
Rezi Desi. We stopped with my sister Leslie Short Teeth's comment.
Okay.
Can you start from under her comment and go down?
We got one more, and it's David Deere. He said, "Good afternoon."
Stongo.
Good
Stongo.
afternoon.
Stongo. Eche. Stongo lo es. Stongo lo es. Hanging around that creek girl. Seminole girl.
For real.
So, Rezi, Desi, is there anything that you would like to maybe something positive to leave with Tatum for her 3 year? I didn't mean to put you on the spot like that, but
Well, since you're 3, if you think about it, you'd be going to Head Start this year.
Oh,
So this is your beginning of your next 12 years of education. So
yeah.
good luck on your endeavors as a Head Starter.
Yeah. Come home loaded.
Loaded diaper. Oh my
So may you
gosh.
get more knowledge and love and peace and wisdom in the years to come. And I'm so proud of you.
Thank you, Des.
Aw.
Thank you.
That was sweet.
That was
I know
really
you could
sweet.
be sweet, Resi Desi.
Well, if you keep calling her that, she's not going to be so
Well,
sweet
I
to
can't
you.
help it now. That's her name.
No.
Yeah, I'm
Hey,
sorry.
at least you're not loaded tots, okay? I don't know what's worse, really.
Tater tot is cute though.
Yeah, I'll take
Loaded tater
tot.
tots.
Oh my god. That's what I want for lunch then, if we're going to Sid's.
Yeah.
But Yale von Frankenstein said, "Good morning, dear relatives. I
Good
feel
morning.
truly blessed to be me and even more grateful to have all of you in my life.
Wow. we
Let's
appreciate
cherish this beautiful day together."
it. Thank you. Thank you. We appreciate
Thank
that. And I hope,
you.
I'm glad you're having a good day and thank you for tuning in. What was one of, I got to ask you these questions
Mhm.
because I kind of think about my process, like what surprised you the most about your addiction?
What surprised
Yeah,
me?
like what, mm, like when you weren't willing to get high or drunk, or whatever it is that you were doing. Um, what is it that made you feel um I don't know. I don't know how to ask this question without being. All right. What surprised you the most about your addiction whenever you first got sober?
Oh, okay.
Like,
Um, so for a lot of people, I thought that the only way out of my addiction would be death.
mm,
And like I talk about this when I tell my story, I had made those plans, you know what I mean? And so I guess when I got sober, looking back, I had thought that I had to live that way.
mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
that was the only way. That was the only way out of the mess. Like I was
Yeah.
in so deep, I was in so far that the only way out would be death. And so I was shocked that one day God woke me up and said, "You're at you're at your rock bottom.
Yeah.
You're at the lowest point." The choices I was making at that time were filling me with guilt and shame every single day. I would wake up. And it's crazy. There was this one song, like I was real down, like super down, but I still had to be a mom.
Oh yeah.
And there's a video of me and Josie. I'm probably going to share it later on my Facebook, but there's a video of Josie, and I was so sure that this was going to be my last day. You know what I mean? This was going to be my last day, and me and Josie went out to the lake because that's all I knew what to do, like to escape when I had her. We went out to the lake, and there's this song. It's called Weatherman, and I don't even know who it's by, but so I listened to that song on the way to work this morning to remember the day when I chose to stay, and God was just bringing me to the very rock bottom so I could come up, So, what wasn't surprising about my addiction?
I know,
really?
right?
I mean,
like whenever it was explained to me that it was a disease, when it was explained to me that, like I had to be broke completely, completely down. I had to be broken like completely all the way down. And, it was that just stuck in my head. Like I would just tell myself, I'm worthless. Like I started thinking like a situation would happen, like maybe get locked out of somebody's house if I was staying over there. And they just got tired of me and just locked the door on me one day, or something like that.
Yeah.
Didn't want me around no more, or
Wait, can they hear us?
Say something.
Why does this board say mute?
No, your microphone's turning green.
Okay.
yeah.
All right. Sorry.
You're good.
I just saw that lit up and I was like, oh my gosh, not again. Not again.
But like I would get into a bad situation. Say I didn't have nowhere to go, and I would go sit at the park, or say I would just start walking. To make it seem like I was going somewhere, I had something to do, or I was really just I would literally walk from one end of town to the other, and then just kind of take a different route. I kept acting like I was gonna go see my kids, or like it was just this weird. I had to go. I had to go. I had to go. I had to go.
Yeah.
And I'd be thirsty, stinking, just, and I would always run into somebody else that was, having the same troubles that I was.
Yeah.
And I don't know, like you just build that bond with so many people. And that was like something that, I thought about all the pain and suffering. Like we would carry each other's, pain with each other. Like, and I just remember like every once in a while, like I think about my bros, like I don't know, they're my bros no matter what. We might get mad at each other, we might, like we're just like brothers.
Yeah.
But I mean, like I'm always gonna have love for these guys. I'm always gonna want the best for them. I pray for them. I pray for their kids. And like that was one thing about I guess my addiction is like that was like our common bond. Even though we're out of our minds and we're all like plotting on each other and trying to get over on each other, like whenever I remember like after being sober for like a week, I remember like realizing like damn, I may not ever get a chance to hang around with them ever again. Like, and I know, not to say anything bad about them, but for my own personal reasons, like these are the guys that I always let go of all my problems. I always let go of all the things that were troubling me. And we would just laugh and laugh and laugh. I mean, I'm an idiot anyways, like I can't be serious for nothing.
Yeah.
Like
Oh, I know.
I cannot be serious, and that was like one of the things that surprised me, like like my codependency was trying to kick in, and I'm just sitting there thinking like I might really have to make a life on my own. Like I might really like I miss my bros, and it's always all love,
Yeah.
when we see each other. When we only see each other maybe a couple of times a year.
Right.
I can always reach out to them, but I don't want them to I don't ever like want them to think like that I'm being judgmental, or
Yeah.
like I feel like I'm out of their hair now. Whereas before they probably felt like they had to take care of me. I'm literally homeless. Like, and I would think about like, well, damn, like I'd be all sad. I ain't got no clothes. I ain't got nowhere to sleep. Like I'd be all down on myself. And then it never occurred to me that before that situation ever happened, I was the exact same way, but I was just perfectly fine with it because I had, I could go get high, I could go get drunk. But whenever all that wore off, I'm just, how it is,
Yeah.
you're feeling all down and out. And I'd be sitting there thinking like, why can't I think about those things before I take that first drink?
Right.
Like, and I heard that one time, like, somebody said their mom was getting sick, and they would always start calling for God whenever they started throwing up. Oh God, please help me, please help me. And my friend, as a little kid, he would say, why don't you call for God before you drink?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and it was a little kid telling his mom that.
Wow.
So I don't know. Like, well, it makes sense today. Whereas, I used to be that guy getting sick, that would only call for God whenever I was in a bad spot. So
because we didn't know how to, and like that's what these programs are here to teach you. Like just getting sober for me was like wiping the slate clean. Anything that I knew or thought I knew, or anything that I did that I thought was working for me, had to be gone. And if you're not willing to, like, you might, some people might be willing to get sober, but they might not be willing to wipe that slate clean.
Yeah.
And it makes things really hard.
Yeah, it gets heavy.
Yeah. There's like, I refer to the steps as cleaning your heart out, and that's really what it takes. Because that guilt and shame will still fester.
Oh, yeah. Pride and ego, all of it.
Yeah.
All of it. Your addiction is sitting there working out, waiting on you to, get into your own head and tell yourself, or just need that one person to co-sign, yeah, I completely feel that, I think about who I didn't really know you. I knew of you before. I never really knew you until you got sober, till you started coming to the 506. And I don't know, you've always just kind of been quiet. I don't know, I didn't see you over there talking a lot. But I mean, when you're at the clubhouse, it ain't I see you cutting up or whatever.
Yeah.
When you're around certain people, but for the most part, I felt like you were kind of, I don't know, maybe because you're soft spoken.
Yeah, I'm pretty soft spoken.
You ain't like Aunt Theta and just getting all ghetto chicken head and yeah. See? Yeah.
She's gonna get in the mic now because you're talking.
But I think about the chain of events. I went to California, when I got sober, and I remember having that conversation with JJ and my nephew. My nephew, he's up in Tacoma now, Justice. I remember having that conversation with them about, they wanted to get sober.
Yeah.
And just call this number. That's all you really got to do. Just call this number. And I want to say JJ ended up going to Illinois. He went to a detox up there, and then he went to South Coast.
Yeah, treatment in California.
And I think Justice went to Washington.
Yeah.
Went to Seattle. And then, and then I guess eventually he kind of put it in your ear, planted the seed.
JJ, yeah.
Yeah. Kind of planted the seed.
I guess shout out to him for that part.
But I seen the chain of events happen.
Yeah.
And that's
it's
pretty cool.
Effect.
Yeah. 3 years later, you're still here. You're still kicking. Yeah. And I don't want to say oh, that was me. I don't mean that at all. God, I can definitely see where God worked in my life and worked through me to help other people.
Yeah.
Because I used to be a taker. I looked at what life had to offer, And I just wanted to take this, I just want to be a little bit funny. I want a little bit of money. I don't need much brains, but give me a little bit of muscle, like I was a taker. I wanted, I seen what somebody else had and I wanted it. And I didn't understand like how to get it.
Mm-hmm.
So then it's kind of like today, we get to be givers.
Yes.
Like I see, like I think about Cindy. I think about Cindy, and how her life was like dedicated to the program,
Yeah.
and how like she had been helping people for decades.
Mm-hmm.
And I just thought it was cool, to see her type of love and how she just loved everybody. She didn't care.
Yeah. She's
She,
definitely celebrating me today, and
for
I know
sure,
that in my heart. You
for
know what I
sure.
mean? She
You
would try and talk on my birthdays, do my little dedication, before
Yeah.
my chip. And she would get out 2 words before just bawling like a baby.
Yeah.
And I'm like, don't do this right now.
Yeah.
Please. We're in front of everyone,
Yeah.
But it's okay to be vulnerable at the
For
meetings and
sure.
stuff. But that's how I knew how passionate and how proud and how much she believed in me.
Definitely.
And she did. You didn't have to earn her,
Nah.
uh, you know,
Everybody got a fair shake.
yeah, that's for sure.
Everybody got a fair shake.
Mm-hmm.
Sure to
Um,
miss that lady. We have any more comments?
Um,
Get in the game, Resi Desi.
let's see. Leanna Thomas says, "Happy birthday, Tatum."
Thank you.
Julia Tartza says, "Good morning,
Good
Tatum.
morning.
Keep sharing your light. You're an amazing example to others. The whole team is truly amazing."
Oh.
Thank you. Thank you.
Council on Alcoholism and Addictions of the Finger Lakes say, "Happy birthday, Tatum."
Thank you.
Ahoo, ahoo.
OCO Kimberly Sexton.
CO.
Sio.
Kendrick Sweezy says, "Nyake and congratulations. Happy birthday."
Thank you.
Daniel Given says, "We are willing to get sober, but are we able to stay sober?"
Right.
That's a good one. That is a good one.
Leslie Short Teeth says, "I used to be shy back then, but now I just talk a lot."
Now he's just an auntie.
I appreciate all of you for acknowledging my birthday and making me feel special. Really, thank you.
For sure. We having that lighter?
I feel like maybe I was quiet first in AA because I was young.
Yeah, still trying to fill out the program.
Yeah, and I always thought, man, if I open my mouth, these people are going to be like, "Who's this kid?
Yeah.
She knows nothing." And I really didn't know anything. I really had so much to learn still, and I still do. But now I just get to be my bubbly self and laugh with you guys and
The bubblies.
okay, Goofy then. Just call me Goofy. No. Oh my gosh.
Did you imagine did you imagine this is where life would lead you? This is where God would lead you?
I did not, honestly, but I try to not look too far ahead, you know what I mean? I try to stay in the moment, right here, right now. Like that's another thing that I've been pondering on this week is we talked about fear a little bit last week. Friday? I don't even know what day it is. Anyways, we talked about fear, and in recovery, it's really easy to have that trust and that faith in your higher power.
Mm-hmm.
And so the only thing that I am fearful of is working so hard to like be somebody that I forget to like live.
Yeah.
So I'm just trying to prioritize like doing those things that I enjoy and traveling, still seeing the world. That's been a dream of mine for a long time. When I was in my addiction, I would always talk about it, but never like save money for travel or like, you know what I mean? Do
Yeah,
anything.
it was just a thought.
It was just a thought, and now I get to like live that. And so that's really important to me.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So, do you have any? Where do you want to go next?
Well, I went to New York.
That's where I want to try New York.
I am going on a secret trip the last week of this month. I can't talk about it yet.
I'm going on. Okay.
Sorry.
Guess the cat's out the bag now, but okay.
So that I told Josie we could go take a trip together on fall break, probably just to like SeaWorld in Texas.
Yeah.
But
San Antonio, ain't it?
yeah, there's so many places I want to see. I don't know. I have like a list. I really like New York. Still feel like New York is calling me.
Wow.
But wherever the wind takes me, I guess.
Yeah. You know, like if I would have wrote down what my sobriety and recovery would have looked like, you know, like 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, 4 year, I would have shorted myself.
Yeah.
You know, like that's the amazing thing about recovery and staying sober is like once you're able to overcome addiction, it seems like anything's possible after that. You know, like that's the hardest thing to do. You know, a lot of people don't make it out of that.
Yeah.
You know, and to see you live with the freedom that you have today. You know, I think you have a great testimony. You can see it in your daughter. You know, like how happy you are.
Oh, thank
You know,
you.
like you can see that in Joe's. You know, so
Mhm.
you know, I know, you know, I know that's what our community needs to see. You know, they need to see us recovering. They need to see us, you know, doing this thing. And you know, like I was saying, you know, after you overcome addiction, it's you know, like so many doors open.
Yeah.
You know, like, and I do you remember Theta when we were riding with that guy going to those camps? Yeah. And he said that addiction is the only prison that locks from the that unlocks from the inside.
Wow.
Yeah,
I got
yeah,
goosebumps. Wow.
yeah.
That's deep. That's really deep.
You know, it's the only prison you can be in that you know that you have to unlock it from the inside.
Mm.
You know, so I mean, there's just so many. I go on and on for days.
Yeah.
Being a taker, being a giver, yeah.
Yeah, when you said that about being like a taker, I've always had this like nurturing I've always been a nurturer. Um Even in my addiction, like
Yeah.
I want to take care of people. I still do. I still enjoy taking care of people. If you come to my house, I'm probably going to try and feed you, you know what I mean? I make my mom's plate and she thinks that's weird. But if I cook, I make her a plate. I don't know. I just like deliver her plate, you know what I mean? And she I think it has
She's a
to do
doer.
with her independence.
Yeah,
She's
she's a
a doer
doer.
and a nurturer, and you know what I mean? We fall in line. Yeah. And I don't know. I do. I enjoy that part of getting to wake up every day and allow my recovery to work through me and reach other people, and that's what I want to do. That's what I want my life to look like, and it does right now, and it might look different,
Yeah, for sure.
in a year, 2 years, or whatever the timeline may be, whatever God has in store for me. But I'm just following the path right now.
That's cool. You know, like I was thinking about, you know, it was this weird thing that happened this morning. So when my alarm goes off to make sure that I get up, I turn the TV on
Mm-hmm.
and just kind of, you know, lay there for a little bit. But today it started talking about the lottery. I automatically in my head started dreaming about winning the lottery.
Oh.
You know, like as soon as I heard lottery, I was already in line buying a ticket, and everyone's treating me like, oh yeah, you're fixing to win.
What?
You know, like the lady at the store is like, what do you want? You know,
Mm.
like everybody's trying to be good to me because I'm fixing to win this lottery.
Yeah.
It was like the weirdest thing. So I automatically just set up, and I don't know why. You know, I'm still like half asleep, and I just started praying. You know, like, and almost I had to catch myself, like, to stop myself, like, please let me win this lottery. Yeah, please let me win. You know, when I was just started thinking, like I remember saying those prayers.
Mhm.
You know, I remember feeling that way because, you know, like, you're so far down in the dumps, you know, like any kind of, you know, like that's what's going to get me sober. That's what's going to change my life. And everybody, you know, I'm gonna make everybody around me sorry that treated me, that burned me, you know,
Yeah,
that
for all the wrong
all the
reasons.
wrong things, you know, all the resentments that I had, you know, like this is my get back, you know, and it wasn't even for like, damn, I could send my kids to school, I could buy me a house, I could.
Mm-hmm.
No, it was just to get back at everybody. But I was just kind of, and I started like shaking my legs
Mm-hmm.
because I'm trying to pray and I'm trying to like stay focused. And I started shaking my legs, and Natalie said, "What's wrong?" You know, because I don't know if she like, I set up and she might have thought that I was hurting or something.
Mm-hmm.
She was like, "What's wrong?" I was like, "Oh, my bad." I said, "I'm just praying," and I didn't want to tell her. I'm praying for this lottery.
So we're going to the store at lunch or what?
Yeah. I was just like, I don't know, man. It's crazy. It's crazy, you know, but I had I had a great prayer. You know, it felt good,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and it just made me think, you know, like, wow, like just the power of prayer. You know, like that's one of my most important tools today.
Yes.
You know, is not only in the bad times, but always, you know, learning how to be grateful in all the good times too.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's a big one for me. Do we have any more comments, Resi Desi?
Patrick or Isaac Rhodes says, "Good afternoon. I hope you all enjoyed the concert."
Oh yeah.
Patrick Medicine Bird says, "Good afternoon. Was good to see y'all the other night. How's my northern Kiowa brother doing today? And happy birthday."
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon,
Thank
Pat.
you.
Yeah, man, the Blues Travelers, bro, they were jamming.
Mm-hmm.
That was a show.
Yeah,
That was a hell of a show, like a live show.
that was a good time.
Would they play what's that one song from Urban Cowboy? I don't know the
I have
name of
no
it,
idea.
but where the guy plays the violin,
Mm-hmm.
but he was playing it on the harmonica.
What?
You didn't know
Did I
that?
miss that? I missed it.
That's what the Blues Traveler guy does. He plays the harmonica,
Okay.
but it sounds like a violin.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, he was jamming. Like, that was like the highlight. I thought you knew.
My bad. I was a little overstimulated by the wind.
Yeah, it was a lot.
I
But
just
yeah.
had dirt in my eyes and like in my mouth, and it was just Theta
Trying to
were
sit there.
struggling. Yeah, we were using her eye drops like every 30 minutes. It was cool.
Yeah, it was
Live
good.
music is always good, no
Always.
matter what it is.
But the Blues Travelers, bro, like I would recommend anybody to go and see them.
Mhm.
Like they were, like a live performance that gets down the way that they do. That dude can yeah, it was great. It was a great experience. I enjoyed myself. And it's crazy because I'm blind as hell.
Mhm.
And I want to say that's for I've been everywhere blind. Like I didn't even care about looking at the stage. Like my attention was everywhere else.
Yeah, still jamming, huh?
Yeah, jamming. Like damn. Yeah, couldn't see. I just kept looking at Natalie, going, damn.
Oh my god.
Every 5 minutes, just looking, damn.
Oh my
Couldn't be like, oh, look at, check him out.
Yeah.
Just look at,
Oh
damn.
my god. We gotta make a sound out of that. A sound bite.
Well, do we have any more comments?
Yes, we have a couple more. Council on Alcoholism and Addictions. They said New York likes you.
Wow.
It's calling me for sure.
And
I'll be
Leanna
back.
Thomas says, want to win and don't even play the lottery. And Bayale von Frankenstein says, is that charcoal that you are using for
Yes.
your burning?
Yep. Actually, this one doesn't want to burn that. Well, it's
Sometimes they're like that.
yeah. Well, it's whenever you don't close the pack
Oh, they dry
back.
out. Or
Yeah,
something?
they dry out. But yes, that's what we use for our, and it's pretty cool because the building we're in, no smoke detectors. So every morning that's like part of my morning is I take some medicine around and give everybody the opportunity to bless themselves. So it's just part of my day.
You get to like visit everyone.
Oh yeah, and yeah, I get to have my own little check in with everybody.
You know that some people probably need your positive energy around here. Even if you have like a short encounter or something, but like your energy transfers to people.
Oh yeah.
So if they're having a rough morning, I feel like that could,
Because I have like a
start
running
the
joke
day.
with every single person.
Do you really?
We all laugh about the same thing, like
Oh
all
my
the time.
gosh. Of course you do.
Yeah, I enjoy it. I get that mental health check in with everybody. Just kind of how are you?
Yeah.
And I like checking in with Christina because she doesn't. I think she keeps herself so busy that she doesn't want to focus on what's ahead. And I don't know, like it makes me feel good, like to see her like engage with what we believe in.
Right.
And I think it has helped her, like she does start to understand. I kind of explained a little bit, like at Sweetgrass this morning, it's just kind of, like this brings our ancestors around, so, when they're around, you talk to them and, pray to, let them hear your prayers.
Yeah.
Like, and she just kind of, just shakes her head, then rolls her eyes at me because I tease her so much.
And you go back the next day, right? You still
Yeah.
go back. So
I mean,
that's all that matters.
that's it's just part of, I enjoy these little conversations I have with everybody.
Yeah. All right. You ready for me to read this
Yes.
meditation? Okay. It is August 11th. May there be peace when we meet. Audrey Shenandoah Onondaga. The elders tell us the greatest gift we can seek is peace of mind, to walk in balance, to respect all things. For us to do this, we must have peace within ourselves and peace within ourselves. Oh my gosh. Okay, peace within ourselves cannot come unless we are walking the path that Creator would have us walk. Sometimes the tests on this path are difficult, but we know that each test makes us stronger. O Great Spirit, I ask you to whisper your wisdom in my heart. You are the only one who knows the secret to peaceful living and the mystery of harmony. Teach me of your peace, understanding, and balance, and guide me onto your good path.
You go first, birthday girl?
Yeah. That is just... That's how I feel about having 3 years today. That put into words. Like, I do seek peace. I have peace of mind today, I do get to walk in balance. Do I get a little off balance sometimes? Of course. But I was just talking about that last night. It says for us to do this, we must have peace within ourselves. Think of a home, right? Like we all have this place that feels like home. And really, when I think of home, I think of the first house that I grew up in, out on out in the neighborhood by the movie theater. That's where I grew up, on Meyer Drive. And I think of that as my home. But now, after everything where I've been, like, I've been all over, different houses, different apartments, never anywhere for too long. Like, the real home is within me. The real, like, that's the home that I have to build first before I can build an actual home. Creator would have us walk. Sometimes the tests on this path are difficult, but we know that each test makes us stronger. Yeah. Acceptance, accepting that that these tests do have to happen in life. If if there were if they didn't, then we would just still be going through life on our terms.
Yeah.
And I always used to go around things, or skip over things, and now I get to go through things, and I think that's a blessing in my life today.
For sure.
So I like this meditation a lot.
It is a good one. My bad, Theta. I know I made it smoky in here. It's over there dying. Well, may there be peace when we meet. Man, when I think about peace, I think about the chaos that I used to keep. Like I kept chaos because you need that chaos. Like I'm always looking for a reason to use.
Yeah.
When you're in that chaos, then I don't have to think of a reason. Just look at my life.
Mm-hmm.
You would use too. That was my excuse.
Yeah. Anyone would do this.
Yeah, who wouldn't? Who isn't smoking crack? Like who isn't banging smack? Like like a sober person didn't exist.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're lying. Like there's no way. They're just choosing not to go get a dub and do the most. Who doesn't drink vodka every day? But whenever I was able to step away, actually, whenever I was finally able to admit, like when I made that phone call, I called Justin Evans. He doesn't do it anymore, but he does help. He does help other alcoholics today in a different way. He helps. And he's still my guy. Like a 5-minute conversation with him, like changed my life.
Yeah.
Because whenever he's like, "What are you struggling with? What's your drug of choice?" It's like I finally admitted to somebody. Like I finally admitted. And it was like, just I seen the power in that.
Mm-hmm.
And it seemed like the more and more, you're only as sick as your secrets, right?
Right.
The more and more, like, and I told Shane, I had to get these things out.
Mm-hmm.
And it seemed like the lighter and lighter the load got. It was a little bit easier to take a step. Because when I think about whenever I was holding all these things in,
Mm-hmm.
how heavy it was, like, like you could actually feel the weight of what was going on in here. And it was making me drag my feet. It was like my addiction's telling me, run. Like forget everything and run.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to go understand why fear was such, why was I so attracted to the pain and suffering? Like why did it, I can't say that it felt good, but I got real comfortable there.
Yeah.
Real comfortable in my pain and suffering. And like, and that's where that, like, I didn't feel sorry for anybody else, but I always felt another addict's pain.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I didn't ever feel sorry for him, but I could always understand, like, man, like, I would be using every day too if I had to go through that.
Yeah.
And it just seems like today, I can't find this peace without that freedom first.
Mm-hmm.
I had to go find my freedom first. I want to say I was probably about, I was over a year sober before, like, I started with the with the sponsor in California.
Mm-hmm.
He went back to Michigan. I came back to Oklahoma. And I just kind of, I hung around the clubhouse until I heard Shane share one time.
Wow.
Heard him share one time. And I was just like, this is my guy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I got to go, like, I want what he has. And I approached him, and we got down on our knees and prayed.
Yeah.
And it's a little, because you're still holding on to the old you.
Mm-hmm.
So even then, you're like, I'm a little ashamed, like, what? We're going to hold hands and get down on our knees and, like, okay, but
It's weird for you at first.
definitely weird.
Yeah.
And we did it in front of everybody. And, it wasn't, everyone just didn't stop and be like, check out these guys, like, it was just kind of, oh, like, let's get out of the way.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, like, there was something that, like, if that's what he thinks we need to do, like, then I knew, like, I'm committed to this thing, and there's no way that I'm doing it this time.
Yeah.
I'm going through these steps. I'm gonna be as honest, like, and it was funny because that was one of the early conversations about, the house that I was staying at the time. There was people, using
That you
using
came
it in
back
that
to
house.
from California?
Yeah, I came back to
Wow.
California. The house that I was staying in, people were using, but I'm like the bad guy to them. Like, I'm going to meetings. I'm not really, like, interacting with them. And one day this guy pulls up and he's like cussing at me when he's asking me a question. Where the F is so and so at? And I was like, I don't effing know. Like, why are you asking me? Like, like, I don't keep up with that person. Like, I started automatically popping off.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought there was fixing to be a problem or something. Like, what? Like, and I remember Shane called and was like, what's up, bro? Like, called me out of the blue. Like, man, this dude, like, like, I know this dude, like, sells, and I know he's like, he's over here, like, trying to get bronchi, looking for somebody.
Yeah.
And Shane was like, bro, like, have you ever thought about calling the police? And I swear to God, like, the thought, and I still have trouble.
We don't call the police.
Like, like, that's one of the things, and I just started thinking about my peace, like, how peaceful, how peaceful am I willing to be, like, how ready am I willing to be when these situations come up? Well, luckily, like, I realized, like, I got to get out of here.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I have to go, like, get my own, like, I felt like me being there was putting my recovery in somebody else's hand.
Yeah.
And it was disturbing my peace, and I say you do what you do in the beginning. When I first got sober, I surrounded myself with other alcoholics and addicts, which, you don't always have to go to treatment, detox. You go find you AA, NA, Wellbriety.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's other alcoholics and addicts there. And that's what you do is you surround yourself with these people.
Yes.
And you keep going to these meetings. You don't just sit there and get quiet. You be willing to share. You be willing to talk. Like find your voice and learn how to advocate for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And get you a sponsor. You don't just go get you a sponsor. Like you use them.
Yeah,
You call him because he's practicing the principles that you're trying to instill these things in your life. I mean, I'm not gonna call somebody who doesn't practice these principles.
Right.
So it's like
to get any
any kind of growth.
Anything. Yeah.
Go crack him in the head. Go baseball bat his head.
For real.
So it's like for me to where it says may there be peace when we meet. To me that's powerful because I know when I meet another alcoholic and addict, I'm gonna be able to tell as soon as I shake their hand. Just a little conversation that we're fixing to have.
Mm-hmm.
Like it could start with how many days you got. Like where are you from? Like yada yada yada. Like I feel like you can feel another alcoholic and addict, somebody who's been working on their freedom. Like you just automatically feel that presence.
Yeah.
And I think that's a beautiful thing. Like when we go to the Wellbriety conference, when we went last year, like you could just feel like the healing going on in that room from natives all across the nation.
Wow.
And it was, it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful feeling. So, when I think about that, may there be peace when we meet. You know, uh, a better you is a better me. A better me is a better you. So, I think that's a powerful thing to, we don't see it enough. We don't see it enough in our communities.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying, anything bad, but, it's like, I know what to expect when I go out in public.
Yeah.
I know what to expect. And, and I understand, everybody's got their own journey. I'm not questioning anybody's morals or, choices, or I just know that that's how I grew up. I did something about it, and I don't want to expose that to, my kids and my grandkids. So.
Right.
That's all I got.
Thank you.
See y'all tomorrow. Hey.
For real, we got to get to lunch. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm gonna end it. Yeah.
Will you finish with the comments, Des?
Oh yeah. Isaac Rhodes says Devil Went Down to Georgia.
That's what it's called. Yeah, where he played it on the harmonica.
Okay, yeah.
They usually play it on the violin.
Sorry if that was loud. What does Nat say? Trigger warning?
Yeah. She just says that.
Barry White says, "Let my brother Barry know I need to talk to him. It's important. Thank you."
All right, brother. Yeah, call me.
Yeah, I
think
think
that's all the comments.
That's it.
Mhm.
Well, once again, I gotta say happy birthday to Miss Loaded Tater Tot Escott.
Thank you.
When you say loaded, what do you think of?
You don't want to know.
Chili cheese, chives, sour cream,
chili cheese.
Like I was saying, when I mention your recovery, I got to remember, Miss Cindy. Miss Cindy, man, I gotta, you were very, very blessed.
Mm-hmm.
And I almost like I when I think about you, I have to think about her.
Yeah.
Like it's I don't know, like that's it's still like a rewarding feeling. You know, because she was like such a rewarding friend, and not like material wise, but like spiritually. You know, like she had this gift. You know, and it wasn't the sleight of hand. It was, you know, through action and through words, through compassion and love, and you know, and it's just such a beautiful thing, you know, to to still hold on to her memory. You know, and like I was saying, you know, I can see your happiness through your daughter.
Oh, thank you.
You know, she's such a, and you know, I know the good Joes.
Yeah.
The one that'll sit there quiet during a meeting. You know, like that's the Joes that I know. And she's always like would always look at me and like give me like
stink eye. Yeah.
yeah.
Stink face.
Her and Dylan's daughter, like they, I don't know what it is. They like shooting me the raspberry, just you know. But you know, I'm very. I feel like we're all very blessed, you know, to have your presence. You know, to see the work that you're doing in our community, and I think it's very important that we keep each other uplifted and we keep recovering out loud.
Yes, for sure.
You know, and I always laugh because when she first started working here, and you know, we're going to these unhoused events, you know, in Oklahoma City, and I remember your question, like, is that safe? You know, should we like, do we need like people with this when we're doing this or that? And the thought came across my head, like, you know what, Tatum, you have this look that says that yes, I do have $5.
Oh my god. Now I don't.
Yeah. She finally don't have it. So you know, but yeah, we're very blessed to have you here at Tour. You know, and to see what you want to do with the youth, I think that's, you know, takes a different kind of person. You know, and when I see that, I think it's, you know, I think, you know, I always think about the kid that, like, I needed that person whenever I was a kid. You know, so to see you able to just be vulnerable, you know, and to recover out loud. So, you know, we appreciate, you know, congratulations on your 3 years. We appreciate everything that you do around here.
Thank you.
You know, and just keep killing it. Keep doing you, girl.
Always. Yeah.
So,
you talked about Cindy, and like she definitely like left her mark on the world.
for sure.
You know what I mean?
For
and
sure.
it gets to like her mark gets to like work through me every day. So she's definitely with me. Like she left a part of herself with me. You know what I mean? It's a whole, I don't know, you almost have to experience it with a sponsor to understand, but there is definitely, she is with me today 100%, and she's dancing in heaven right now, you know?
Yeah.
But thank you for celebrating me, and thank you for everyone else that told me happy birthday and for tuning in. That was a great meditation for today.
It was. So. It was. Well, do we have any more comments before we go?
Bayale says happy birthday.
You just keep
thank you
butchering that name more and more. You said it 3 different ways. Oh. It's Bilal.
Oh. Y'all never corrected me.
Bilale.
What?
She just kept.
Well, thanks for correcting me after 3 videos later.
Well, now you know.
All right, I'm about to end it. So
all right,
bye.
well, thank you. Like, share, follow. Tell your mammy about us. Happy birthday, Tater Tot, Loaded, Escott. Nah.
Oh my God. I hope you all have a blessed day.
Have a good day. I hope.